Hello and welcome to Flip Fluids 185, the big update. And yes, we are calling it a big update for a reason. Blender 5.0 has just been released, bringing tons of improvements and new possibilities, and of course we've made Flip Fluids fully compatible right from the start. Along with the way we cleaned up the design, fixed various bugs and added a bunch of new features. Before we jump in, a quick note. We've seen some users run into installation issues with the new version. Most of the time it was caused by other add-ons that weren't updated for Blender 5.0 yet, so please make sure all your add-ons are up to date, and if in doubt it's better to reinstall them cleanly instead of importing them through load previous Blender settings. Before we dive into the development updates, we want to take a moment to talk about our pricing. As some of you may have already noticed, we introduced our first price adjustment in many years, a small increase of $10. Along with that, we've updated our original license, which is now called the individual license. Thanks to the fantastic support from the SuperHive market team, all previous purchases have been updated automatically and correctly. So if you've been with us for a long time, everything is already taken care of on your behalf. We've also added new team and studio license options, and these are meant to give new customers a cleaner path when working in collaborative environments and to make support even smoother. And speaking of support for anyone on a team or studio license, the best way to reach us is through the support form. That's where we can assist you with the fastest and most efficiently way. For existing teams and studios already using the add-on, nothing needs to change. Your current license stays valid and you can continue working just as before. Of course, if at any point you feel that one of the new licenses would better match the way your team collaborates today, the option is there whenever you need it. And for anyone thinking about upgrading to a team or studio license, we've included a little bonus. You can get 25% off with one of the discount codes linked in the video description. Just a small thank you to everyone supporting the project. Overall, we are incredibly grateful. After so many years of development, this small price update helps us to keep delivering the performance and features you expect from Flip Fluids, still at a price that remains accessible to as many artists as possible. Transparency has always been important to us, which is why we wanted to share this openly. And with that, let's move on to what's new in this update. The biggest highlight is our new multiple density solver. That's right, you can now mix liquids with different densities inside the same simulation. It becomes especially visible when using fluid particles. In the example you're seeing here, we meshed those particles directly to make them behave like real fluid. We also introduced several new geometry node tools that makes it easier to build surface meshes, particles and whitewater setups. One particularly useful improvement is adaptive motion blur. As soon as you enable both Apple's simulation timescale and Apple's simulation word scale, motion blur stays consistent across all kinds of settings. There's also a new option to remove mesh areas near the domain boundary. This is perfect when you only need the surface. You can enable or disable each side of the domain individually and set how far from the boundary the removal should happen. There's also a feature that lets you flatten the mesh near the domain edge towards a defined water level. This is incredibly useful for compositing or simulation into a large ocean scene. You can set flattened width, the smooth transition width and even store the displacement as an attribute, which helps keep surface, whitewater and particle meshes perfectly in sync. A transition mask can also be saved, giving you a clean way to fade out mesh edges directly in your shader. Particles have received a massive update as well. You can choose whether the add-on should assign a material directly or whether particles inherit their material from instance objects. Within the point cloud and instancing settings, you can adjust particle scale, fine-tune small size scaling and randomness, and even bias the distribution toward either smaller or larger particles. For instancing, you can choose between built-in icospheres or custom objects, or a collection of multiple objects. Rotation can be randomized. Instances can align to particle velocity. Particles can now scale at the end of the lifetimes. You set the final scale, how long the transition takes, and when it should begin. Yeah, fluid particles also have an age-based scaling feature, which works at the beginning of the particle's lifetime. Again, you choose the duration, the start point, and a transition mask is generated for shading purposes. You can also filter particles based on their source ID. So, if you only want to render particles from a specific inflow object, you can simply toggle the IDs you want to show. And finally, we added a super handy operator on the flip fluid sidebar. It updates your surface particle and white water geometry nodes modifier to the latest version of the add-on. Any older modifiers are kept as backups and automatically disabled, so nothing gets lost. Alright, that was all for that video. Thank you very much for watching. Let us know your thoughts about that, and yeah, see you the next time. Goodbye.